Hey everyone, it is week 8 already. Glad to see you guys back. Hopefully you had a lot of fun through our trunk or treat on Friday. A lot of great costumes. Hopefully you got a lot of candy. I don't know if your parents would appreciate that as much, but maybe they could have some as well. So we have 2 more weeks after tonight. Finish well, earn those points for your teams. Remember, earn as many points as you can because you will get a prize at the end. It should be a good one. See you guys later.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to Craft. Today we're going to make what's called scratch art. Okay? You should have received in your bag just one piece of black paper. Were you like, what is this black paper for? There's black paper and then there's a little stick that's pokey on the end, okay? Be very careful. Don't poke yourself or anybody else with that, okay? So what we're going to do in our story today, we're going to hear about a gift that was given to someone that is a coat or a robe of many colors, okay? How are we going to make many colors out of this black piece of paper? It's just a dark piece of paper, right? That's what your stick is for, okay? And you can use either side. If you want a nice skinny line, you can use the pokey side, or if you want a thicker line, you can use the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch this paper and make a nice coat. Now, Leanne is not a great artist, but it's okay because your art can look however you want it, right? So look, it's like a robe. So coats sometimes are a little bit longer. Maybe it was really cold where they lived, so they needed a big long coat. Have you ever had a long coat? It's like a robe, right? And we can make like little pictures on it if we want. Look at all those colors coming through. Isn't that beautiful? This was a very special gift. You can do whatever you want. Look, I can make a heart. Isn't that cool? I love scratch art. It's so fun, okay? So there you go. You know what else you can do? You can write our Bible verse on it. Our Bible verse, God was with Joseph and helped him. Was with Joseph and helped him. You know where that's from? That's from Genesis 39:3. Okay? Have fun doing your craft. You know what? You can make whatever you want. If you don't want to make a coat, you can make something different from the story, okay? Have a good day. Bye, guys.
What's up? So glad you guys are able to join us once again. Tonight, Noah will be explaining your game Cobra Kai style.
All right, welcome back to the games. Tonight we have something very exciting planned for you guys. This game is called Island Hopper. Me versus Seth.
What?
We all know who's going to win. It's going to be
Seth.
me. Now, you can play with your family and friends, neighbors in your neighborhood. This is how it goes. We have our hula hoops. So, you can play as a relay game or just a fun game back and forth with your friends or family. We're going to explain now, so follow me. Our hula hoops are set. Only 2 hula hoops per person. How many, Seth?
2.
2 hula hoops per person.
Dos.
We are starting from this chair. We both touch the chair. When I say go, we are going to race to that chair, which is over that direction.
Race.
Race to that chair. Now, hold on. I know you're excited, Seth. Come on back.
That wasn't it?
Now, we must be moving the hula hoops while we're racing. So,
Okay.
once you step into the next hula hoop, you grab the one that was there before, and then you rotate
And
it
I
over.
throw it across.
What if I want to throw it?
Yes.
No.
No.
Do not throw the hula hoop.
Do not do
Now, when you bring the hula hoop across to the next one, it must make contact with that hula hoop. You quickly jump and do it again until you make it to the chair.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Can't. No.
Okay.
That's good.
Let's start. Bring it back.
How about if I accidentally hit my partner? Because we're pretty close right now. So if you're at
No body
home,
contact.
make sure you have enough room that you're not going to hit the partner you're playing with a hula hoop or
Nice.
a towel.
This is a game you could probably play in the backyard, maybe your living room, just depending on what the space you have. So
No
you ready, Set?
contact.
On your mark. Get set. Hold on. We're going to go there and back, just so that's clear. We touch
There
that chair,
and back.
and when we come back and touch this chair, whoever does it first wins.
Got it. So you're going to say 3, 2, 1, go?
1, 2,
Or
3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, go?
Go after go. Or
Go after
3,
go.
2, 1. Go.
3, 2, 1, go.
You ready?
Got it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa!
Seth is the winner.
And I'm busy.
You must play. You can play as a relay if you want to touch a friend or a neighbor, and then they go and see who can win the relay race or one-on-one. You guys choose. Oh, I'm beat.
See you next time.
Mark, Luke, and John. Acts, Romans to Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st Timothy, 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, and Hebrews, and James, and 1st Peter, 2nd Peter, 1, 2, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation, 1, 2, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. Hey, hey, he is the truth, the life, the way. He is the truth, the life, the only way. The truth, the life, the way. He is the truth, the life, the only way. The New Testament. Psalm, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Acts, Romans to Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st Timothy, 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, and Hebrews, and James, and 1st Peter, 2nd Peter, 1, 2, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation, 1, 2, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. Hey, hey, he is the truth, the life, the way. He is the truth, the life, the only way. The truth, the life, the way. He is the truth, the life, the only way. The New Testament. Psalm. The New Testament. Psalm. Come on, the New Testament. Sweet.
Ephesians 2:8.
For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da, la-di-da, oh, not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da, 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 oh, not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and it's not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and it's not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da, la-di-da, oh, not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da, 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 oh, not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da. Hey. La-di-da, la-di-da, oh, not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God. La-di-da. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and it's not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. It is the gift of God.
Hey guys, so glad you guys were able to join us once again. This is week 8, so we are almost over. We have a few more weeks to hang out with each other, which is great. But once again, glad you're able to join us for tonight. So we are going to get into it. Again, we're going to still be in Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 37. We'll be in chapter 37. And again, I have 2 more sayings for you guys. If you have heard these sayings before, hopefully you have. They're fairly common, but one of them is pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. And the other one, I'm not sure if it's an actual saying, but no one likes someone who brags, right? No, we all know someone in our lives where we've heard them bragging about something, or there's someone who's continuing in your life that brags a lot, but we never like hearing people brag. And we're going to see both of those things play out in today's lesson. So today's lesson, we're going to talk about a kid named Joseph. You might have heard the story before. Joseph and his Technicolor dream coat. I've heard it said before, but we're going to talk about Joseph and his relationship with his brothers as well. So more family relationships we're going to be looking at. So we'll start off in, again, chapter 37, and we're going to start in verse 3. So Joseph has a lot of brothers, and he is the youngest of those brothers. And don't let anyone know, but in families, siblings always like to say, I know in my extended family, they like to joke, my brother and sister-in-laws, they like to joke about who the favorite child of the parents is. And I don't think parents actually have a favorite child, but they like to joke about it. In this story, we actually see this father. It may not be his favorite child, but it's definitely a child who gets treated very well, even better than the others. Because it says this in chapter 3. It says, now Israel loved Joseph. Israel is the father. Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him at his old age. And now he made a richly ornated robe for him. So it says he loves this youngest brother Joseph so much that he's giving him all these possessions. He even made for him a really, really nice robe. So back in the day, they wore robes for a lot of occasions. It was their daily wear, their daily outfits. Now, if you had more money, you would tend to have robes a little bit longer, the sleeves down to the wrist, and the length a little bit longer than the others. If you didn't, there would be short sleeves and maybe cut off at the knees. So you kind of knew which robes were more expensive than the others. And this one definitely stood out among the other robes. And this favoritism from the father towards Joseph made his other older brothers angry. They didn't like it. They actually, it said they hated Joseph. It said in verse 4, it says, when the brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him, and they could not speak a kind word to him. So they saw this favoritism. It's not like it was in secret or anything like that. It was out in the open, and they saw it, and they did not like their brother because of that. So we go on, and one day Joseph comes to his brothers. He's like, all right, he's like, bros, I had a dream last night. So he tells them this dream, and it makes them hate him even more. And I know you're thinking that's a little weird. Why would a dream cause them to hate him even more? This is what the dream said. This is what his dream was. And it says this. We were building sheaves of grain out in the field, when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it. Now we see it. We might not understand exactly what's going on, but the part I want to point out is that theirs are bowing down to his. He said, mine became higher than your guys's, and you started worshiping my sheep. You started bowing down to it. Now, there are two ways you can go about bringing news, or a few ways you can go about bringing news to people. And Joseph must have known his brother's dislike for him. So the fact that he goes to them and it tells them about this dream, about them bowing it down to him, it's almost like he is bragging. He's throwing fuel on this fire that of hatred they already have for him. He's telling them these dreams that couldn't have made them happy or pleased to hear. He doesn't do it once, he does it twice. He has two dreams very similar with each other, where he's rising higher and more important than his brothers. And doing this, telling them in the manner that he did, couldn't have been good. It's almost like he's bragging, and he's saying, listen, this is what's going to happen. I'm more important than you guys. I'm even having dreams that are telling me that I'm more important than you guys. I'm already liked by our Father more, and now this. And after hearing this news, they dislike him even more, even up to the point they want to kill him. And we think back to the story we heard last week. We know two brothers that were quarreling with each other as well, and one got so angry that they wanted to kill the other brother. And we're seeing a similar thing in this story. So we'll go ahead a little bit. Joseph's brothers, they're out in the fields tending their sheep, and their father sends Joseph to go and meet them and just check in on them, making sure everything is good and running okay, and to report back to him with what is going on. And Joseph's like, okay, I'll go do that. So he's going out to meet his brothers, and the brothers see him coming from a distance. They know he's coming to meet them, so they start plotting with each other on what they are going to do. And this is what they decide to do. It says, verse 19, they say, here comes that dreamer, that Joseph, our brother, the guy who told us that he's going to be more important than us. Now come, let's kill him and throw him into these cisterns, and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. So they're plotting to kill their brother when he gets there, and we're going to blame it on an accident. We're not going to let anyone, no one's going to know what we actually did, but this is what we're going to do. And we see one brother step up and stop what is going on. It says this, verse 21. Then Reuben heard this. He tried to rescue him from their hands. Let's not take his life, he said. Don't shed any blood. Throw him into the cistern where the desert, in the desert, but they don't lay a hand on him. Reuben said this to rescue him from their hands. So even though Reuben stops them from killing him, he says, let's throw him into this hole, and that will be good enough. We don't actually have to kill him, but we're going to throw him into the cistern. Now, even though he was trying to do good through this action, it still wasn't the right action to take. It wasn't the right, his motivation behind it wasn't to stop his brothers from killing him and save Joseph. It was still to get rid of him, but so they won't have the guilt from killing their own brother. Have you guys ever had that situation in your life where you choose one thing because it seems not as bad as what you originally wanted to do? Maybe it is wanting it to not talking bad about someone, even though other people around you are talking bad about them, but still laughing at what they're saying about this person. Still joining in the conversation, but not really saying anything yourself. That's like what is going on in this story. The actions that they end up doing still aren't the right actions. They're just in order to not have that guilt on them. And it gets even worse for Joseph at this moment, because once he's down in there, they notice a caravan coming through, and his brothers get another idea, and they draw him out of that hole, and they said, we're going to sell him to the Ishmaelites as a slave. So he's no longer going to be around. He's going to leave. He's going to become a slave. We might even get a little bit of profit from this, right? So he's not going to be around. Our father isn't going to favor him as much anymore. So this is what we're going to do. So 31, verse 31, it says that they got Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the robe in blood. They took the robe back to their father and said, we found this. Examine it to see whether this is your son's robe. So after selling him, they kept the robe and they made it look like he was attacked. And the father had no idea that he was actually sold by the brothers. Because of their jealousy, they fell into this sin. Because they allowed jealousy to brew up inside their lives for such a long time that it controlled their actions. Do you guys have jealousy in your life about something, no matter what it is? If we let jealousy stay in our hearts for too long, it will start to control our actions. It will start to come out in small ways. It might not come out all at the same time, but it will start coming out in small ways. And our choices and our actions, because of it, will never be the right thing. They'll never be what God is calling us to do. So I want to challenge and I want to encourage you guys to always check your jealousy at the door and not let it control our actions. Like we saw in today's story, it controlled the actions of Joseph's brothers. And not be like Joseph either in bragging about something that you know is going to happen, or something that you can do, something that you might be good at. Not bragging about it to your friends, because that also promotes jealousy inside of them. So we don't want to promote jealousy inside of people, and we don't want to harbor jealousy inside of our lives. Let's go ahead and pray. Father, just thank you once again for these stories, just the lessons that we're able to learn from them and hopefully apply to our daily life. It's just a blessing to be able to look through your word and learn from it. Just to ask that you allow us to take to heart these lessons of pride and jealousy, and how not to let them control our lives. Just ask that you be with us as we go through the rest of our time here in our small groups and throughout the rest of our week. Just pray this in your name. Amen. Thank you guys. See you next week. So that does it. That ends week 8. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun participating, enjoying the crafts, the games, the music, the lessons, all with your friends and family. Come back next week and check out what we have. See you guys then.